Dear Mother, how have you been? I'm back at the edge for maintenance work. We had a few incidences, and ultimately it got too dangerous to push forward. And since we're on forced break and the captain needed to send a letter to the Hunter's Circle about our extended time, I thought I'd take a time to catch up with you on what I've been up to. I know your worry when you haven't heard from me in a while. It's been a little hard, and I admit, but it's been, for the most part, fairly manageable. The trek through the fog to get here in the first place was alright. It was more boring than anything else. Captain Vert, that's the man leading the expedition, is kind of a pain to deal with, but he means well. He's very knowledgeable, and I've learned a lot from him. I've become well acquainted with the rest of the crew as well. They are all the captain's regulars. Except for me, that is. There was this other boy with us too. His previous expedition left him behind, so Captain Vert took pity on him and let him join us. He said they abandoned him at the edge, which I thought didn't make sense because he seemed very friendly and helpful. Boy, was that a mistake. The first board wasn't too bad. I regret not taking up Dad's offer to teach me cartography. Actually, on second thought, I don't think it would have helped at all. I think the buildings must have been shifting when I wasn't looking. I swear, I would turn around and then I'd turn back and suddenly it'd be totally different. We tried to avoid the bell tower, but then a little incident happened and we ended up holding up in it. It's a long story, but let's just say I got over my fear of spiders. We got out of the first ward shortly after that. We crossed a bridge called Crick's Crossing, and the view was quite stunning. It overlooked a river like a bajillion feet down. I think I saw something moving down there. Sinal told me to stop staring at it. It felt like we walked forever. But we eventually reached the third ward. Apparently, when it was first discovered, before they started numbering them, it was called the Garden of Otherworldly Delights. I'd spent so much time in the first ward, with its buildings and cobble. The sheer amount of greenery felt like magic to me. There were delicious-looking fruits along a charming little path that meandered through the foliage, and stone statues decorated the walkways. There was a courtyard of sorts, and we had a somewhat lovely lunch at a defunct fountain. We had a small incident happen, and we had to leave quickly, which worked out fine. We ended up traveling through the night and only stopped to rest once we reached Rel's Keep. That's the giant castle no one's fully explored yet. There was a rumor that in the West Dungeon there's a previously undiscovered relic they're calling Fortune's Favor. And Remory is paying a small fortune to everyone involved bringing it back to them. Fortune's Favor. Sounds so stupid. We ended up making our way to the top of the tower, and I actually managed to get a glimpse of FF. It looks like a black ball of sorts. Ugh, creepy too. Remember that boy I mentioned earlier? Yeah, turns out he betrayed us. Yup. What a pain. He grabbed it and some weird stuff happened, and then it ended up ruining a lot of our gear, so we had to hightail it back to the edge. Thank you, random boy. At this point, we all agreed it just wasn't worth it to return empty-handed. A lot of us, including me, had pulled all of our available resources and funds to pay for this trip here in the first place, and there's no way we'd be able to pay for a second trip if we leave the city, so we'll have to stay at Hunter's Edge for a while longer. If we leave, we'll be even poorer than how we started off. No clue where Random Boy went with FF, so this ended up being a dud. Captain Vert thinks we can hunt the thing I saw below Crick's Crossing and sell it to Old Cross, which could at least let us break even. We might find some smaller relics in the meantime, so it wouldn't have been a complete utter waste of time. Hoping to come home soon. Son.